The forbidden door. The night was cold and silent. Broken towers of the old human city stood like dead giants under the moonlight. Wind moved through cracked metal and empty streets, making soft crying sounds, as if the city itself remembered pain. Through this ruin walked a small dragon girl. She was young, not yet grown, her wings folded tight against her back. Her scales were pale silver, almost glowing in the dark. Every step she took was heavy, not because she was tired, but because of what she carried. In her arms lay her mother. The albino dragon mother was huge, even while weak. Her white scales were dull and cracked. Some had turned gray. Her chest rose slowly, each breath shallow and painful. A faint blue light flickered beneath her scales like a dying flame. The dragon girl whispered, "Please, just a little more." Her voice shook. All dragon healers had refused them. Some said the sickness was cursed. Some said the mother was already dead in spirit. Others simply turned away, afraid. An albino dragon was rare. An albino dragon who had protected humans long ago was hated. That was why they had come here. The human city. Dragons told stories about this place. They said humans were weak, that their machines were useless, that their world was dust because they deserved it. But the girl remembered something else. Her mother, when still strong, used to speak softly at night. "Humans fix what magic cannot," she once said. "They listen to broken things." The girl did not understand then. She understood now. At the edge of the city stood a single building with light. Not magic light, warm yellow light. A workshop, metal walls, old and patched. A tall door covered in scratches and burn marks. Tools hung on the outside like strange decorations. Smoke rose gently from a pipe on the roof. The girl stopped. Her heart beat fast. If dragons saw her here, they would call her a traitor. If humans were still dangerous, they could kill them both. The albino dragon mother coughed. White blood touched the ground. The light under her scales flickered weaker than before. The girl's fear broke. She stepped forward. Each step felt like crossing an invisible line. A line no dragon had crossed in many years. She reached the door. Her hand hovered in the air. Her mother's breathing slowed. "Please," the girl whispered, not sure who she was speaking to. She knocked. The sound echoed louder than it should have in the empty city. One knock. Two. Nothing. The girl felt her hope slipping away. Then, a sound. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Metal moved behind the door. Locks turned one by one. Not rushed. Not afraid. The door opened just a little. Warm light spilled onto the cold street. A human stood there. He was old. His back slightly bent. His hair was gray. His face lined with years of oil, smoke, and quiet work. His clothes were simple and stained with grease. His eyes were sharp but tired. He looked down. He saw the dragon girl. Then he saw what she carried. His eyes widened, but not in fear. He opened the door fully. The human stepped outside. He did not shout. He did not reach for a weapon. He slowly walked closer and knelt beside the massive dragon body. The dragon girl held her breath. The human placed a gentle hand on a broken scale. He listened, not with magic, not with fear, with focus. "This isn't a curse," he said quietly. The girl blinked. You know." The human nodded. "I've seen this before." He traced a deep scar near the dragon's chest where metal met scale. "This wound was made long ago," he said, "by dragon war machines." The girl froze. Dragons never spoke of those. The human looked up at her. "They don't heal like magic wounds. They break from the inside." The albino dragon mother stirred. Slowly, painfully, one pale eye opened. It focused on the human. For a long moment, the world was silent. Then her weak voice escaped, barely louder than the wind. "You're still alive." The human's hand trembled. "I could say the same," he replied. The dragon girl felt her chest tighten. They knew each other. From a time before hate. From a time before silence. The human stood up and opened the workshop door wide. "Bring her inside," he said. "If we wait any longer, it will be too late." The girl hesitated only for a second. Then she stepped into the light. Behind them, high above the city, something moved in the clouds. A shadow passed across the moon. And far away, a dragon's roar echoed through the night. The human who should have run The workshop door closed behind them with a deep metal sound. Inside, the air was warm and thick with the smell of oil, iron, and old sparks. Soft lights hung from the ceiling, not magic lights, but small glowing bulbs powered by wires. The dragon girl had never seen anything like it. The human mechanic moved fast now. He locked the door. Then another. Then a heavy metal bar slid into place. "Put her down, slowly," he said. The dragon girl lowered her mother onto the floor. The albino dragon's body shook as it touched the cold metal ground. Her breathing became uneven, like something inside her was breaking apart. The human knelt beside her again. He pressed his ear close to her chest, not to hear her heart, to hear the sound beneath it. Click, crack, a faint grinding noise. The human's face hardened. "Her core is unstable," he said. "Very unstable." The dragon girl felt fear rise in her throat. "Can you heal her?" The human did not answer right away. Instead, he stood and walked to a wall covered in tools. His fingers moved with calm speed, taking strange metal devices, cables, and glass screens. He placed them around the dragon mother in a wide circle. "I can try," he said, "but understand this, if I fail, she will not wake again." The girl nodded. "If you do nothing, she dies anyway." The human paused for a moment, then nodded back. He pressed a button. The floor beneath the dragon mother lit up with soft blue lines. The dragon girl stepped back, wings tight with fear. Suddenly, the dragon mother screamed. It was not loud, but it was full of pain. The blue light under her scales flashed wildly. The human cursed under his breath. "Too much pressure, too much damage," he muttered. The girl cried out, "Stop! You're hurting her!" The human turned sharply. "If I stop, she's gone." His voice was firm, but not cruel. Then the dragon mother spoke again, weak but clear. "Continue, human." The girl froze. The human's hand shook for just a second. "You trust me?" he asked quietly. The dragon mother's eye opened halfway. "I trusted you once when the sky burned," she whispered. The room felt heavier. The human swallowed. "That was a long time ago." "Yes," she replied. "Before dragons learned fear." The human turned back to his machines. He adjusted settings, lowered the power, changed the rhythm. Slowly, the screaming stopped. The dragon mother's breathing eased just a little. The dragon girl felt tears fall, but she did not wipe them away. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed outside, a distant roar. The human looked up. "They found you," he said. The girl panicked. "What do we do?" The human walked to a small screen on the wall. Red dots moved closer to the workshop. "Dragon scouts." "Right now," the girl whispered. The human nodded. They sensed her core reacting. He walked to a hidden panel and opened it. A stairway led down into darkness. "Take her below," he said. "Now." The girl stared. "What about you?" The human smiled, tired but calm. "I'll buy you time." She shook her head. "They'll kill you." He shrugged. "I was already forgotten." Before she could speak again, a loud shook the workshop. The walls rattled. A dragon voice thundered outside. "Open the door, human." The human stood tall. He opened the main door. Cold night air rushed in. 3 large dragons stood outside, eyes glowing, armor shining. They stared at him. "A human," one said with disgust. "Alive." The human folded his arms. Surprised. "Where's the traitor child?" another demanded. The human tilted his head. "You mean the daughter who is trying to save her mother?" The dragons growled. "You dare speak of dragon honor?" The human's eyes sharpened. "You abandoned one of your own," he said. "I didn't." The dragons stepped forward. Inside, beneath the floor, the dragon girl held her mother tightly. The albino dragon mother's core glowed steady for the first time in years. She whispered, "He hasn't changed." Above them, the human took a slow breath and stood his ground. Because some humans do not run, even when dragons come knocking. The truth buried in steel. The underground chamber was colder than the workshop above. Soft white lights turned on as the human mechanic moved forward. The walls were not stone. They were steel, thick, heavy, and old. Symbols were carved into them, not magic runes, but human markings, numbers, and warning signs faded by time. The dragon girl stepped carefully, her claws clicking softly on the metal floor. She looked around in wonder and fear. "This place," she whispered. "Dragons don't know about this." The human did not look back. That was the plan. He guided them to the center of the room. A large circular platform waited there, covered with cables, arms, and glass screens hanging from above like sleeping spiders. The albino dragon mother was placed gently onto it. The moment her body touched the platform, the machines came alive. A deep hum filled the chamber. The blue glow under her scales steadied, then suddenly flickered. The human frowned. No, that's not right. The dragon girl felt panic rush through her again. What's happening? The human's fingers flew across the screen. Lines of data rushed past his eyes. Her core isn't just damaged, he said slowly. It was altered. The dragon mother's eye opened wider. You found it, she whispered. The girl turned sharply. Mother, the dragon mother took a weak breath. They changed me to make me stronger. The room felt smaller. The human's voice grew dark. The Dragon Council. The dragon girl stepped back. No, they would never. They would, the dragon mother said. And they did. She closed her eye as memories surfaced. Long ago, dragons feared humans because human science could match dragon magic. So the council made war engines, half dragon, half machine. Humans were forced to build them. The albino dragon mother was one of the first guardians. She protected humans. Because of that, she was punished. They implanted a false core inside me, she whispered. It feeds on my real one. The human clenched his jaw. That explains the pain, he said, and why magic healing failed. The dragon girl's voice trembled. Can you remove it? The human hesitated. If I do, he said carefully, her real core could collapse. Silence filled the chamber. Then the albino dragon mother spoke with sudden strength. Do it, the dragon girl cried out. No, there must be another way. The dragon mother looked at her daughter with soft eyes. I'm tired of being controlled. The human nodded slowly. Once I start, he said, there is no stopping. He activated the machine. Metal arms lowered, precise and calm. A soft red light scanned the dragon mother's chest. Outside, above the chamber, the sound of battle echoed. Metal struck stone. Dragon fire roared. The human glanced upward. They're fighting each other. The girl looked confused. Why? Because the truth scares them, he replied. Suddenly, the screens flashed red. Core separation. Failure risk. 87%. The human's breath caught. The dragon mother screamed again, louder this time. The entire chamber shook. The girl grabbed her mother's claw, tears falling freely. Please don't leave me. The dragon mother squeezed back weakly. Listen to me, she said. No matter what happens, remember this human. The human adjusted the controls, sweat running down his face. Stay with me, he whispered. You don't get to leave after all this. A loud explosion thundered above. Dust fell from the ceiling. Then, the blue glow stopped. For one terrifying second, there was nothing. The machines went silent. The dragon girl screamed. Then, a slow, deep heartbeat echoed through the chamber. Thump! The screens turned green. The human stared. She's alive, he breathed. The albino dragon mother's core flared. Not blue, not red, but gold. Above them, dragon roars turned into shocked silence. Because something ancient had just awakened, and the Dragon Council could feel it. When the core awakened, the golden light did not fade. It spread, soft at first, then stronger, filling the underground chamber with a warm glow that felt alive. The metal walls reflected it like sunlight on water. The machines around the albino dragon mother began to vibrate, struggling to understand what they were seeing. The human mechanic stepped back slowly. This shouldn't exist, he whispered. The dragon girl shielded her eyes. She felt heat, but not burning heat. It felt safe, comforting, like being wrapped in a memory. Her mother's chest rose steadily now. Each breath was deep, strong. The false core, the one built by the Dragon Council, cracked apart with a sharp metallic sound. Pieces of dark metal fell onto the platform, lifeless and cold. The real core pulsed. Gold. The albino dragon mother opened both eyes. They were no longer pale. They burned with ancient fire. The girl gasped. Mother? The dragon mother slowly lifted her head. Chains of light slipped from her scales like broken shadows. I can feel myself again, she said. Her voice was no longer weak. It carried weight. Power. The human swallowed hard. You're not just healed, he said. You're restored. Before either of them could speak again, every alarm in the chamber screamed to life. Red lights flashed. Warning. External breach. The ground shook violently. Above them, the workshop ceiling cracked. They're coming through, the human said. Not scouts this time. The dragon girl felt fear return. The council? Yes, he replied. And they won't ask questions. The albino dragon mother pushed herself upright. The platform bent slightly under her strength. Then they will listen, she said calmly. A massive echoed from above, followed by the sound of tearing metal. Dragon fire roared. The human turned to the girl. Stay behind me. The dragon mother laughed softly. No, she said. Stay behind me. The human paused, then nodded. The ceiling exploded. Stone, metal, and fire crashed into the chamber. Through the smoke descended 3 enormous dragons, their scales dark and sharp, marked with the symbols of the Dragon Council. Their eyes burned with control magic. One of them spoke, voice cold and proud. Albino Guardian, it said. You were ordered to die quietly. The dragon mother stepped forward. Golden light wrapped around her body like armor. You ordered a slave? She replied. Not me. The dragons recoiled. That core, one hissed. Impossible. The human looked up at them, heart pounding. You built a lie inside her, he said loudly. And it failed. The council dragon snarled. Human science corrupts dragon purity. The human met its gaze. No, it revealed your corruption. The chamber shook as the albino dragon mother spread her wings fully for the first time in years. The golden light surged upward, forcing the council dragons back. The dragon girl stared in awe. Her mother was no longer broken. She was a storm. The albino dragon mother's voice echoed like thunder. You erased humans from history, she said. You silenced truth, and you called it order. The lead council dragon growled. You stand alone. The dragon mother smiled. Do I? At that moment, the golden light burst upward through the broken ceiling, cutting through the night sky like a beacon. Far across the land, dragons felt it. Old dragons, young dragons, forgotten dragons. They stopped. They looked. They remembered. The council dragons backed away, fear creeping into their eyes. The human mechanic stared at the light, breath caught in his chest. All I did was fix what was broken, he whispered. The albino dragon mother turned her head slightly toward him. And in doing so, she said, You awakened something the world tried to bury. Above them, wings beat in the distance. Not attacking, answering, because the age of silence had just ended. The day dragons bowed. The night sky was no longer dark. Golden light climbed into the clouds, spreading like a second dawn. The ruined human city, forgotten for generations, now shone as if it had a beating heart again. Dragons filled the sky. Dozens of them. Young ones. Old ones. Warriors. Healers. Watchers from distant mountains. They circled the city in silence, their wings stirring the air like a storm that had chosen not to strike. On the broken ground below, the Dragon Council stood frozen. They were powerful, but for the first time, they were not in control. The albino dragon mother stepped fully out of the shattered workshop. Each step cracked stone beneath her claws. Her scales gleamed gold and white, untouched by shadow. The human mechanic stood at her side, small, unarmed, unmoving. The dragon girl stayed close behind him, her eyes wide as the sky, filled with wings. One of the council dragons finally spoke, its voice sharp with anger. You dare summon the old signal, it said. That light was forbidden. The albino dragon mother lifted her head. It was forbidden because it reveals truth, she answered. The council dragon laughed darkly. Truth is written by those who rule. The human stepped forward. No, he said calmly. Truth survives, even when buried. Every dragon in the sky turned their gaze toward him. A human, speaking without fear. The council dragon snarled. Silence. You are nothing but a tool. The albino dragon mother moved instantly. She placed one massive claw in front of the human. The ground shook. This human, she said, her voice echoing across the city, stood when dragons fled. He healed when dragons harmed. He remembered when dragons erased. Silence fell. A huge elder dragon, scales dark with age, descended slowly from the clouds. He landed with a thunderous sound, his eyes fixed on the albino dragon mother. You were lost, the elder said quietly. I was hidden, she replied. The elder's gaze shifted to the human mechanic. You rebuilt a dragon core, he said. Why? The human took a breath. Because she was broken, he answered simply, and broken things deserve repair. A deep murmur moved through the gathered dragons. The elder dragon lowered his head. Slowly, deliberately, he bowed. Gasps echoed through the air. One by one, other dragons followed. Wings folded, heads lowered. The dragon council stepped back in shock. You cannot, one of them shouted. The elder dragon turned sharply. You forgot what power is for, he said. And so you forgot who you are. The albino dragon mother raised her wings. Golden light pulsed outward, touching every dragon present. Memories returned, of humans and dragons working together, of cities built, not burned, of healing, not conquest. The dragon girl felt warmth flood her heart. Tears ran freely down her face. The council dragons roared in fury, but they were drowned out by something stronger. Choice. The elder dragon spoke again. From this night, he declared, humans will no longer be erased. The human mechanic looked down, overwhelmed. I didn't ask for this, he said quietly. The albino dragon mother smiled. That is why you deserve it. High above, the clouds parted. The golden light softened, turning warm and gentle. And for the first time in many ages, dragons bowed, not to power, not to fear, but to heart. The choice that shook the sky. The bows ended, but the tension did not. The air above the ruined city felt tight, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Dragons remained on the ground now, wings folded, eyes fixed on the albino dragon mother and the human mechanic standing together at the center of it all. The Dragon Council had not bowed. They stood apart, their scales dark, their eyes burning with anger and fear. One of them stepped forward, claws digging into stone. This changes nothing, it growled. A single-heeled dragon does not rewrite law. The albino dragon mother turned slowly. Golden light dimmed around her, not weaker, controlled. You still believe this is about me, she said. It is not. The council dragon sneered. Then what is it about? The human mechanic answered. It's about choice. All eyes turned to him. He did not raise his voice. He did not threaten. He simply spoke. You had power, he said. You used it to control. You erased humans because we reminded you that power can heal instead of rule. A low rumble moved through the dragons, listening. The elder dragon lifted his head. The human speaks truth. The council dragon roared. Truth is dangerous. Yes, the albino dragon mother replied. That is why you fear it. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Storm clouds rolled in fast, twisting around each other like angry beasts. Lightning cracked, lighting the city in sharp white flashes. The dragon girl grabbed the human's arm. Something is wrong, she whispered. The human felt it too. The air buzzed. The council had made a choice. High above, a massive shape moved inside the storm. A weapon. An ancient dragon construct, half living, half machine, descended from the clouds. Its wings were steel and scale. Its eyes glowed red with control magic. The dragons gasped. The judgment engine, the elder whispered. They woke it. The council dragon shouted. If we cannot control the future, then we will end it. The machine dragon roared, its sound hollow and metallic. Fire and energy gathered in its chest. The human stepped forward again. If that fires, he said, this city dies. Everyone dies. The albino dragon mother spread her wings. Golden light surged upward to meet the storm. I was made to guard life, she said, not to obey fear. She launched into the air. The sky exploded with light and thunder as she slammed into the judgment engine. Gold met red. Life met control. The dragon girl screamed. The human watched, helpless, fists clenched. The battle shook the heavens. The engine struck hard, tearing through golden light. The albino dragon mother cried out, but did not fall. She wrapped herself around the machine. Then she did something no dragon had done before. She shared her core. Golden light burst outward, not as fire, but as connection. The dragons below felt it. Their magic synced. Their hearts aligned. The judgment engine froze. Its red light flickered, then went dark. The massive construct fell from the sky, crashing harmlessly into the empty ruins. Silence followed. The storm broke apart, clouds fading. The albino dragon mother descended slowly, weakened but smiling. The elder dragon turned to the council. "You have chosen fear," he said, "and fear has failed." The council dragons looked around. They were alone. The choice was over, and the sky had decided. The heart that changed two worlds. Morning came quietly. No fire, no roars, no storms. Soft sunlight touched the broken city for the first time in many years. The ruins no longer looked dead. They looked resting. The judgment engine lay in pieces across the stone, silent and empty. Dragons moved around it carefully, not as warriors, but as witnesses to something that should never have existed. At the center of the city, the albino dragon mother rested on the ground. Her golden light was softer now, steady and calm, like a warm flame that did not need to burn bright to be strong. The human mechanic knelt beside her. "You shouldn't have done that," he said quietly. "Sharing your core, it could have killed you." The dragon mother smiled. "So could fear," she replied. The dragon girl sat close, holding her mother's claw with both hands. For the first time since her sickness began, the claw was warm, alive. The elder dragon approached slowly, his massive form casting a long shadow in the morning light. "The council is finished," he said. "Their power is broken." The human looked up. "And what replaces it?" The elder dragon paused. "That," he said, "depends on you." The human stiffened. "Me?" The elder nodded. "You showed us something we forgot. You healed without ruling. You stood without demanding." Other dragons gathered behind the elder. He lowered his head again, but this time not just in respect, in request. "We ask you," the elder said, "to help us rebuild. Together." The human was silent for a long moment. He looked at the broken city, at the sleeping dragon mother, at the dragon girl watching him with hope-filled eyes. "I'm just a mechanic," he said. The albino dragon mother opened one eye. "And that," she said softly, "is why the world changed." The human let out a slow breath. "Then we start small," he said. "We fix what's broken." The elder dragon smiled. Thus, the old workshop became something new. Not a weapon lab, not a throne, but the first human dragon repair hall. Humans returned, slowly at first, afraid and unsure. Dragons watched over them, not as masters but as guards. The dragon girl learned to read human signs and numbers. The human learned dragon history, the real one. And the albino dragon mother became a symbol, not of power, but of mercy. Years later, stories spread across worlds. About the night a human did not run. About a dragon who chose life over control. About a small workshop that healed an empire. And whenever someone asked how peace truly began, the answer was always simple. It started with a broken dragon, a brave child, and a human who believed that even the biggest hearts sometimes need careful hands to fix them.